Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. As President of the Greater Fort Erie Chamber of Commerce, and on behalf of our staff, Board of Directors, and members in the community, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you this evening to the Ward 2 by-election Candidates Night debate. We are hopeful that this debate will better prepare and inform you, the electorate, as to your voting choice on Monday, March the 30th. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the stage the four individuals seeking the position of Councillor for Ward 2. To my immediate left, Larry Graber. Next to him, George Jardine. To the left of George, John Mollicone. And on the very far left, Stephen Passero. Gentlemen, thank you for your participation this evening, and good luck. How little we all knew just 5 months ago on the lead up to the October 27th municipal election that we would be reconvening to seek a replacement for the Ward 2 representative. As a community, we were saddened to hear the news of Rick Schuler's sickness, and a short time later, shocked to learn of his passing. It serves as a reminder to all of us just how precious life is and how truly fragile it can be. In that spirit, as a token of respect to Mr. Schuler and his family, I would request that you kindly stand as we acknowledge a moment's silence. Thank you. You may be seated. Candidates and audience alike, you are to be congratulated on your decision to participate in this evening's public information forum prior to casting your ballot to choose a new Ward 2 representative. The Greater Fort Erie Chamber of Commerce's united voice, representing close to 400 businesses of all sizes. Acting as a catalyst for progressive and sustainable growth of our community, our goals are to enhance business development, provide education, and to create innovative partnerships within the diverse business communities of Bridgeburg, Fort Erie, Ridgeway, Crystal Beach, and Stevensville. We are pleased to host this evening's function and encourage you to pick up information materials on your way out regarding other upcoming chamber events, such as the State of Fort Erie Breakfast, which will be held on March 31st, and our annual general meeting and dinner, which will be held on Thursday, April the 16th. Before we begin with this debate, I would like to remind our audience of a couple courtesy requests. Judging by the audience here this evening, it is obvious that the public is passionate about this election. Likewise, so are these candidates who are on the stage before you. They too are passionate about Fort Erie. This being said, emotions can inevitably run high and debates can turn sometimes heated. As such, kindly remember this: it takes a great deal of courage and personal sacrifice to get involved in politics, especially in a town like Fort Erie. Each one of tonight's candidates deserves the right to be heard. So I kindly ask of you, the audience, to sit back and listen to each candidate's opening remarks, responses to posed questions, and closing statements. I ask that we maintain civility and decorum for this event. Your opportunity to vehemently agree, disagree, oppose, chastise, and/or challenge can best be expressed on Monday, March the 30th. And just before I introduce our moderator this evening, just a reminder, there are washrooms out this door here, immediately to my right. To the right is for the men's, and to the left is for the ladies. Now, at this time, please join me in welcoming a former president of the Greater Fort Erie Chamber of Commerce and this evening's moderator Darren Flagg. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy this evening's debate. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick. Tonight is an information session that will allow you an opportunity to make an informed decision about choosing the candidate that you want to see represent Ward 2 as a councillor. A reminder that Election Day is Monday, May the 30th. Advance polls will be held at the Legion on Garrison Road in the basement, Thursday, March 19th from 4 till 8, Friday, March 20th from 10 until 3, and Saturday, March 11th from noon until 5. The questions that the candidates will be answering this evening were reviewed and selected by the Chamber's Business and Government Affairs Committee and 2 members of the media. We hope the meet and greet portion, if you took advantage of it, will give you an opportunity for some one-on-one contact with each of the candidates. We won't be taking any audience questions this evening. The candidates have been briefed on the timelines they must adhere to, and the speaking orders have been drawn. Candidates, you will see just in front of you, there are some time cards. You will be briefed on 1 minute, 30 seconds down to 10 seconds. And then finally the bell will ring at the completion of that time. We'll have a short intermission about halfway through, ask a few more questions, and allow the candidates a 4-minute closing. Just a reminder, if you have cell phones, we'd ask that you please silence them. We'll begin with opening remarks with Mr. Graber on my immediate left-hand side. Larry, either from the table or from here.
Mr. Moderator, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow candidates, welcome and good evening. My name is Larry Graber. Some of you know me, while others may not. You may ask what brought me to seek the vacant seat as a result of the passing of my good friend, Rick Schuler. He and I used to talk for hours at a time about the political and financial issues facing the town and in Ward 2. Partly as a result of those talks, I have a good understanding of what needs to be done. I have prepared myself to take on this position. I know and believe I can make a difference. I gained much of my financial experience and developed my leadership skills working at Scotiabank, where I worked most of my adult life. Over the 35 years with the bank, I was fortunate to work at most levels before retiring in 2010. My wife and I decided years ago that we loved Fort Erie and thus made our plans to retire here. We are now both retired and consider Fort Erie our home. We are also fortunate to have our daughter close by as she lives and works here in Fort Erie as well. I have given freely of my time to work to make Fort Erie a better place. My involvement with Business Success and Loan Center, Kinsman and the Legion have given me insight into the needs of the community from several different perspectives, such as personal, business, and tourism. I bring to the table my financial experience and my proven experience as a leader. I am a past president of the United Way, a former director of the Chamber, and am currently the president of both Kinsman and of the Legion. My community involvement also includes appointments to the town or by the town to several committees such as the Community Gaming Development Corporation, the Property Standards Committee, and the Fort Erie Public Library Board. Each of these committees requires certain management skills. Much of what I do is not in the public eye. You may not have seen me in the paper or at lots of public events, but I assure you, I have labored long and hard to continue to strive to make Fort Erie the best place to live. My goal is to continue to work for the betterment of Fort Erie. I am asking you to give me that chance by voting for me to be your councillor for Ward 2 on Monday, March 30th. My focus is and remains to be to improve the lives of the people of Fort Erie and especially Ward 2. In my closing comments, I will discuss just some of the areas of focus for Ward 2 and for the town. Thank you.
Good evening, people of Fort Erie. My name is George Jardine. I've lived in Fort Erie, part of Fort Erie, for 45 years. I arrived when a thing called amalgamation came in. So you got me when we all got hitched together in a shotgun marriage. This was a shotgun marriage made by the province of Ontario. I want to run for this chair for Ward 2 because I had my molar teeth, they started growing, and I did a lot of work in this ward, in the South End Business Association. I was a special assistant, and I was trying to help them because my expertise was a lot in events. If there were events, I knew a little bit about it. My best friend had degrees in special events. And my best friend was Glenn Hutton, and I ran with Glenn Hutton back in the early 80s. And Doug Martin was one of the people that ran. There was Mike Keenan. Then there was a fella from Burlington or Hamilton, newly arrived in Crystal Beach, Russ Wilson, he ran. So I know a little bit about the South End. I'm a proven leader. I'm a self-starter. I don't have to be told what needs doing. I do it. I'm a founding member of the Black Creek Community Association. It started in 1977. I worked in the life insurance business for Prudential Insurance. Presently owner of a Studio Jardine, which is to do with art and photographic and anything to do with art or postcards. I have a whole selection of that. I owned a business in Niagara Falls in Chippewa, and it was called Value Video. My wife and I, we helped Cope when they first started up. And when Cope started up, this town was booming. We had lots and lots of jobs, and some people were very annoyed. How dare we have Salvation Army, with Vincent de Paul. Why do we need Cope? Well, we need Cope badly because all our good jobs went south because of a thing called NAFTA. And who started NAFTA? That was the brainchild of the Chamber of Commerce of Canada and the Chamber of Commerce of United States. We sent all our high-paying jobs to Mexico. Anyway, in the South End, I worked on the Canada Day Parade, the South End, the old-time fiddler contest, and I've been running bingos for over 30 years in this ward. And I want you people to vote for me March the 30th. Thank you.
Good evening. How's the sound? Thank you. My personal history is much like yours. I constantly strive for something better, and I am guided by my determination to do the right thing. In my younger years, I went to school, worked insanely hard, and because I was invincible, I took risks. As I got older, I realized life provided its own education, and I couldn't do it alone. Luckily for me, Susan had the same realization about her life as well. We'd been friends for a while when I summoned the courage to ask her to marry me. I was now responsible for both of our lives, and we were a team. Combine our talents and skills, and the world was our oyster. We had setbacks, worked through them, and children were next. Nothing adequately prepares you for that moment. The moment you realize your family's success depends upon you, and it's no longer about you. My family needs safety and security. My personal life revolves around safety and security, the protection of people, property, and information. These days, I'm referred to as an asset protection specialist. I answer to management daily regarding the financial security of a multi-billion-dollar company. I do so with a high degree of scrutiny and accountability. I partner with outside agencies that include, but are not limited to, the banks, the police forces, the courts, and insurance companies. Dotting the I's and crossing the T's rules my work, and I bring that level of expertise with me. My resolve is as strong now as it was when I met many of you at your homes back in October and during the current campaign. I have the most important need for the success of Ward 2 and Fort Erie, my family's future, and that of my ever-increasing list of friends and family. Council can expect my full cooperation in the design and future economic development opportunities in Fort Erie. Thank you.
I apologize for my voice this evening, and I'd like to thank two of my friends for helping me be here tonight, Buckley's and Benadryl. My employment experience is well-rounded. I've worked in the public sector with the City of Burlington, at their municipal golf course, and later at their brand-new Tansley Woods Rec Center. My knowledge, experience, and dedication from there propelled me into a full-time position with the town of Richmond Hill as a facility operator, responsible for the day-to-day maintenance and operations of their newest multi-million-dollar community center and aquatics facility. For those who wonder where my passion for community recreation comes from, like the skateboard park, the Kinsman Pool, improvements to our municipal parks, trails, and facilities, that is where. I returned to Fort Erie for the same reason that a lot of people do. I missed my hometown. I left a great paying job with opportunity for future advancement back in Richmond Hill. I realized early on that success is nothing if it can't be shared with family and friends, and that contributing to my community was as equally important to me, in my mind, as contributing to my bank account. Jobs in my field of expertise weren't very plentiful in Fort Erie. We weren't exactly opening up new recreational facilities at the same rate Richmond Hill was. So I took a job in the private sector to make ends meet, part-time at Movie Gallery. Back then, we actually had to go into a building to rent a movie. I advanced quickly and was the full-time manager in a year's time. Looking around at some of the faces in the room, I think I've canceled late charges for almost all of you at one point or another. At the same time, I'd been working to help my grandmother run her business, Pastries Renee, and eventually left Movie Gallery to be involved there full-time. I took over the business when her health was failing, and even though she's been gone 5 years as of last month, every time I step foot in the bake shop, I know she's proud of me for continuing on. Persevering as a small business owner is the true definition of success under pressure. Envisioning growth, managing day-to-day emergencies, all while motivating staff and maintaining relationships with partners and suppliers. You learn how to make ends meet, live within your means, and prioritize financial decisions to stretch every dollar, the same attributes that allowed me to be an effective counselor. Baking is mostly a job done through the night, and it means I'm fortunate to have a flexible schedule, to become involved in causes I'm passionate about. I've had the privilege of working alongside many amazing and talented individuals in the pursuit of goals to better our community. And with the support and endorsement of Ward 2 residents, I'd like to continue. Pardon me. I will bring the same energy, enthusiasm, and experience from my previous 4 years to the current term. Going from the train bridge to the Peace Bridge, the scenery and issues may change, but the qualities needed for an elected representative do not. I look forward to the dialogue this evening. Thank you.